Before Europeans arrived, the Americas were home to millions of people living in advanced societies such as Aztecs, Maya, and Inca, as well as diverse native nations across North America. This changed dramatically after 1492 when Columbus's arrival began centuries of European exploration, colonization, and disease that destroyed many native populations. In 1607, England founded its first permanent colony at Jamestown. By 1619, the arrival of the first enslaved Africans marked the beginning of a radicalized system of slavery that would shape America society for generations. Over the next century, colonies developed their own economies, governments, and cultures while still being tied to Britain. Growing conflicts over the land, trade, and control, especially after the French and Indian War, set the stage for rising tensions between the colonies and the British Empire.
American Revolution and Early Republic, 1754 to 1820s.
American Revolution and Early Republic. British taxes and control pushed the colonies towards independence, leading to the Declaration of Independence in 1776. After the Revolution, the Constitution created a stronger government. The young nation expanded quickly, especially with the Louisiana Purchase, shaping America's early political and economic identity.
This period also saw the development of the first political parties, debates over the balance of federal and state power, and the growth of trade and agriculture as the country worked to define its place in the world. These early decisions about government structure, expansion, and national priorities laid the foundation for the United States' rapid growth and the conflicts that would emerge in the decades that followed.
During the early to mid-1800s, the United States expanded eastward at a rapid pace. As new states and territories were added, the nation struggled to balance free and slave states. Efforts like the Missouri Compress and the Compress of 1850 tried to keep peace, but tensions continued to rise. The government forcibly removed Native Americans from their homelands through policies like the Indian Removal Act, clearing land for white settlements. Meanwhile, social reform movements took hold. Abolitionists fought slavery, women pushed for rights, and the others called for moral and educational improvements. But debates over slavery only intensified, especially after the Kansas-Nebraska Act and the violence in Bleeding, Kansas. When Abraham Lincoln was elected in 1860, Southern states viewed it as a threat and began seceding, pushing the nation toward civil war.
Civil War and Reconstruction. The Civil War began in 1861 after long-standing conflicts over slavery and states' rights. The Civil War devastated the nation but ultimately led to a Union victory and the end of slavery. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 changed the meaning of the war by making freedom a central goal. After 4 years of fighting, the Confederacy surrendered in 1865, and the U.S. entered the challenging Reconstruction era. During Reconstruction, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments abolished slavery, granted citizenship, and protected voting rights for African Americans, transforming the country politically and socially. However, resistance in the South, economic struggles, and political compromise weakened Reconstruction efforts. When Reconstruction ended in 1877, many of its gains were left unprotected. shaping racial inequality for generations to come.
Specific small Revolutionary War battles were removed because they don't change the overall understanding of why the revolution happened or how it ended. The Townshend and Sugar Acts were removed because the general idea of British taxation is enough to explain colonial anger. Utopian community movements were removed because they have had limited long-term impacts on major national developments. Minor Civil War battles were removed because the war's causes and outcomes matter more than the individual battlefield details. And last but not least, details of the Salem witch trials were removed because they don't significantly shape the central political or economic development of the United States. These topics were added because they highlight major events that shaped American society and the economy. The arrival of the first Africans in 1619 marks the beginning of the slavery system that influenced race relationships and labor for centuries. The invention of the cotton gin in 1793 expanded slavery even further by transforming the Southern economy and increasing the demand for enslaved labor. Finally, the Homestead Act of 1862 reshaped the population and economy of the United States by encouraging westward migration and creating new opportunities for settlers. Before European contact, native civilization had complex societies, but colonization disrupted their lives and introduced slavery, shaping early societal hierarchies. Independence fostered a sense of national identity and new political systems, while expansion and economic growth created opportunities for some and deepened societal division, especially over slavery. Reform movements tried to address inequalities, but conflicts persisted. The Civil War and Reconstruction transformed society by ending slavery and expanding civil rights. Yet, lasting regional and racial inequalities remain, shaping the United States for generations to come.